Please be advised that everything in my video is purely for entertainment purposes. These are purely my thoughts and opinions and are subjective. I must advise you to please do your own research. All media users found on the public domain and are fair use and fair dealings. Hiya guys! Oh, final day of holiday. Don't feel like I've slept properly for 2 days. I keep checking the news to make sure the airports haven't been shut down. Yeah, so gonna go get my nails done a bit because, well, it's something that I like to have done before I go on holiday because I don't really take great care of my nails, to be honest with you, just with washing up, gardening, picking up the dog poop. For anyone that's ever had nails, you know what happens with poop bags. So, yeah, I'm super excited. So there's been some good news that's happened in the news. Oh yeah, I actually look like a newsreader today, don't I? I just need some papers. So in the news that was released yesterday, William and Catherine will soon be doing a tour of Australia. And I actually think that that's going to go down a lot better than the last Australian tour that happened. William and Catherine are actually liked. I'm going to ask my family as well. I might even do like a couple of little mini interviews and say, not tell them beforehand, just go, right guys, can I film you? Tell me what you think of the royal family, because I've got several members that are from different parts of Australia now as well, and some are from Darwin may not think the same as the people from Adelaide, and they're all different age groups as well, so I might do that. It could be quite funny. Depends. I might have to get them to wear masks or something if they don't want to show their faces. Yeah, so William and Catherine are going to do a tour of Australia, which will be great. I love William and Catherine, and to be honest with you, their tours are always successful. People are generally happy. The news coverage is great. They are a really, really good couple. So speaking of other popular members of the royal family, other good news. Princess Anne is going to be taking over the role that Harry left in the military, in the Marines. She is the first ever woman to hold the rank of Captain General. Now that really is a score for feminism. I think that's absolutely fantastic. Princess Anne has always taken her military duties very, very seriously. I do think Princess Anne, though, is a wonderful member of the royal family. She does so much that just basically goes under the radar. Lots of them do, actually, and I'm definitely going to start doing more videos on the stuff that maybe comes up on the royal rota that the newspapers don't cover. I was reading the other day on Twitter that Chris Shipp, one of the royal reporters, he said the reason why they don't cover every great thing that they do is because, you know, a lot of money goes into them obviously having to fly out there to cover it and that. So it would be good if, you know, at least if I just did a mini video once a week just to update you what Sophie, Edward and a few of the others have been doing. For you, those of you that are interested, I'll have to call it something else so you don't go, Harry and Meghan, oh. So on the downside, actually yesterday there was an announcement which is quite sad. It's definitely probably adding to the Queen's stress levels. Peter and Autumn Phillips, which Peter Phillips is the Queen's favourite grandson, as the newspapers always like to say, and he's also Princess Anne's son. He and Autumn Phillips, his wife, they decided to separate. It's very sad. They've got 2 young children. Autumn, I think they say, wants to go back to Canada, but it could just be a rumours that's what she wants to do. Obviously, there is going to be like the custody issue. That is something that does come up with royal members of the family, but I don't know if that will, you know, be followed through down. Maybe Peter and Autumn might come up with their own kind of custody arrangements. But I don't, and I'm not going soft, but I do not agree with the media saying because of Meghan and Harry, because of Megxit. I mean, talk about feeding into the narrative that they're being unfairly crucified for things that they haven't done. This is actually ridiculous from the media. You can't blame Meghan or Harry on their marriage breaking down. They've been together 12 years. None of us really know what goes on behind closed doors. So I thought that was a little bit of a low blow, really, for the media. They don't need to pump out stuff like that because let's be honest, Meghan and Harry pump out enough stuff for us all to talk about as it is. Speaking of which, Meghan's friends, and I'm really beginning to doubt if they are friends, have been leaking again. They have been speaking on her behalf. I'm really unsure of one, who these friends are, and two, like I said, I think they must be enemies because they seem to be coming out with stuff that, well, let's just say it doesn't really put Meghan in a great light. She's reportedly said to friends that a massive weight has been lifted off her shoulders. There's no regrets whatsoever from leaving the royal family. Okay, fine, fair enough. But then goes on to say that she can have it all. She's so excited about the fact she's just got this £1 million paycheck from JP Morgan, flown back, and apparently she's making Archie's baby food and doing yoga and they're living like a normal family. As his tweeter pointed out, Giving up only 5% of your funding whilst quitting 100% of your work, I wouldn't regret that either, would you? No wonder a weight's been lifted off their shoulders. They're still getting a massive lump sum off of Charles every year. You know the house they're in is a freebie. Everything else that they get, the titles. Yeah, I'm not surprised a weight has been lifted off her shoulders. She's running amok. But this is this true? Because surely no true friend of Meghan would be releasing stories like this. It just makes her sound arrogant, conceited, rude, just absolutely the worst type of individual. Surely a true friend wouldn't be telling this to the media, because it does paint her in a really kind of narcissistic light, that she's basically bragging about the damage that she's caused. Is this just made up stuff? Is this the media? I don't really understand how the media kind of laws work, but I mean, the fact that it's not being slapped down by Meghan and Harry's lawyers, as far as we're aware, the fact that Buckingham Palace aren't really helping them out, which I'm not surprised at, but they've still got their own team, I believe, for now. They've got that Sarah Latham. So if the media is just making up this tosh saying, yeah, Meghan's friend, Meghan's source said this, then surely they would be hit by some sort of legal threat by now. So maybe it is true. Do you think Meghan is actually this up her own what's-it, really? I mean, a little bit of humility does go a long way, and I'm just sorry, but you've just taken £1 million off of rich bankers to turn around and say how hard your life is. How can you be being paid £1 million? If I got paid £1 million, I could retire at my age, which I'm not telling you, but it's close to 40. I could retire with one paycheck that they've just earned. I could pay off my mortgage, probably pay off the last of my parents' mortgage, have a decent pension pot, and me and my husband would probably go live abroad. And that would be it. I wouldn't have to work ever again. So for them to still be bleeding this whole kind of like, oh, they've got it so tough, it's kind of cringeworthy and embarrassing, isn't it? So the other statement that the friend has come out with is Meghan has proudly said that her collaborations with Disney are not yet done. The voiceover work was nothing, and there are more. This is just the beginning. I think the actual wording was, this is just the beginning. That to me sounds like the caption that you'd see on the horror film posters, or it's the, it's like something a serial killer sort of book would say. We know that Meghan leaks from her camp. She gives permission for people to talk about her life. She's had leaks for friends, everything that happened with her dad. We know that since Meghan came on the scene, we have more leaks about the royal family than what we have ever seen. It has turned the royal family into an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians cross the crown. This is why people are so transfixed on it. I hate this expression, and no one take a swipe at it with the whole like Diana thing, but it's what's called car crash TV. It's where people are like on the edge of their seat. They cannot believe what is happening every day because it just seems so surreal. Are you sure? Can they actually be saying that? She's literally been a one-woman wrecking ball, and then obviously all of the cries of like the racism and stuff, which is still unfounded, that I'm not sure Disney really want to get that involved with her. She's a bit toxic. Now, I don't actually always agree with everything the media comes out with. I think that the media have realised that they can earn a lot of money from painting Meghan as the pantomime evil villain. And when they've done that, I think they've played into her hands. Whilst they've got a few extra bits of revenue and clickbait, Meghan has been able to run with the story that she's been unfairly picked on. Them now releasing stories saying that, Meghan's so happy she can have her cake and eat it. It's just going to make people go, what? Apparently there was a guy on Jeremy Vine's radio that got cut off because he swore about Meghan. Apparently at some point yesterday a caller rang in and called her an effing B, so which Jeremy Vine, obviously they had to hang up and he had to apologise to people. But this is where people do feel really impassioned about everything that's gone on. People do care about Prince Harry. People that have seen him grow up from a child, people they care about him, and they've watched him change, morph quicker than anything that anyone has ever seen. And this is why there's almost like a morbid fascination. You've got your fan base that love Meghan, but then you've got people that are absolutely addicted to what sort of stuff is going to come out of the woodwork next. I mean, I don't think there's been a day, maybe a couple of days that have gone by in the last, as soon as she got that ring on her finger, really, that there has not been stuff coming out in the media. I mean, there's been personal stuff that's come out, lies that have come out about other members of the royal family. There's been drama about Meghan's family. There has just been a constant stream of crap. And Meghan and Harry have used this to their advantage, and they have played the victim card. This is their reason and their excuse for leaving the royal family. They've washed over all the fact they've been doing dodgy deals in the background, that when they were actual paid members of the royal family, that they were going to movie premieres instead of continuing with duties, that Meghan was flicking up on her so-called maternity leave and turning up to only glamorous sort of events, while secretly in the background she'd been trademarking everything, lining up contacts for when she knew that she was going to leave, setting up websites. This is all being brushed over because Meghan's a victim. It's a very, very, very clever way that they've done it, but it's being milked for all it's worth, and I can't see how long a shelf life this is going to have. That crown is going to slip, the halo's going to drop, whichever way you want to look at it. We have seen it because we've had more exposure of them in the UK. America hasn't. All they've had are the contrasting kind of reports. It's only going to be so long before Meghan's personality starts coming out, or they start basically being total hypocrites, and the American media are going, well, hang on a minute, that's not right, that's not okay, and they're going to see it kind of match up. Meghan, as I said, she is a one-woman wrecking ball, and it won't be before too long her demands, her diva behaviour, will get leaked out. Now, Germaine Greer, she nailed it before the wedding in 2016. She turned around and said, I don't see this ending well. I see Meghan chasing fame and money, and it turned out that Germaine Greer didn't need a crystal ball. She's right, because lots of us can see what's happening, lots of us can see how this is going to end. I don't see them living their happy ever after. Meghan has an absolute blind, ruthless ambition, and I don't think she's done climbing that kind of totem pole. I think that she is now absolutely going for A-list global stardom. And she definitely won't care who she treads on. She's not going to stop now. I can't see her suddenly softening after the life that she's led, softening because she has a baby, she's got her prince, she's got money. I think now she's got even more of a bigger thirst for it, because she's got a performing monkey that she can push out on stage. If it is true, like I said in the last video, that they did do this JP Morgan speech, Meghan didn't get to speak. They didn't want to listen to her. She basically got to introduce her husband after quickly saying how much she loved him. I don't think she loves him that much. I think she loves the money. I totally supported Harry and Meghan stepping away from the royal family if that's what they wanted to do. What's the point of staying somewhere that you're not happy? She wasn't happy, he wasn't happy. What's the point of staying in a job? I've walked out of jobs where I've definitely been unhappy. They had the right to do it. Should they have done it the way that they've done it? No. Do I think Meghan's behind it? Yes. Do I think that this is in pursuit of a family life, privacy for Archie, to just, get away from all of the kind of fishbowl that was the royal family? No, I think this is about money. I think this is about money. And out of the two of them, Harry was born into privilege. He was born with money. Harry's probably never really earned his own money and been proud of that. He's never had to get a sort of like a part-time job or anything, as a kid, like your parents make you go get a paper round or something. He's never had to do that. So I don't believe that Harry is the one that's behind this thirst for money, because when you look at Meghan, that's all she's wanted. I don't think Meghan really wants the path of philanthropist or a humanitarian. I think she might do on paper, she might do when she's given a speech somewhere at a charity, but I really think her goals are just fame and money and having an audience and adulation. I think truly that's what she's after, and Harry at the moment is love struck and she is dragging him around like a ball with a hoop for his nose. Harry is now her party piece, isn't he? And that's a pretty sad and rapid decline for one of the most popular royals, for one of Diana's sons, for Prince Harry. But as the famous saying goes, you've made your bed, you've got to lie in it. Right, so back to about me and my holiday. This is going to be my last video until I touch down in Australia. I will be taking pictures and stuff. I'm going to Kangaroo Island. I'm going to go to some of the animal hospitals. Some of you freaked out when I said I was going to hospitals. Obviously not. Fingers crossed, not. But yeah, I'm going to go see some of the koalas and stuff. I'm going to go to a few of the big safari zoos that they have. My aunt's actually bought us tickets to go to Barossa, which is basically where one of the huge wine vineyards, but they've had a lot of fire damage up there. So I will maybe do a couple of films on it, just release it for those of you who are interested. As I said, I will keep in touch with the news, but I am on holiday as well. And to be honest with you, I need a little bit of a Harry and Meghan detox. It really, really does. You imagine my life every day. I have to read the news, get involved with stories and stuff, and then talk about it. So lots of wine, lots of food, and lots of, well, sunbathing for me. So a very tan and Taz will be back with you very shortly. I'll speak to you guys very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. Please, angry typists, you will be blocked, so save your fingers the time. If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.